Hey there! Welcome to The Circle. We're here to talk about something interesting: how we can make our lives better. It's not some kind of magic, it's a method. If you use this method every day, you'll see something amazing happen. Many of us wonder why our lives seem the same, with the same relationships, jobs, and situations. The answer is in a simple but important idea: paying attention. Here's an interesting story. A researcher, curious about the power of paying attention, contacted the Dalai Lama. He wanted to study people who were really good at paying attention, monks who had spent more than 40,000 hours meditating. The scientists connected these monks to machines that measured the brain's electrical activity. When the monks focused on compassion, the front part of their brains became more active than ever. That wasn't magic. It was the result of careful observation and concentration. On the other hand, a group of regular people had a hard time concentrating. Their minds wandered through everyday thoughts like back pain or dinner plans. The frontal lobes didn't show much change, highlighting how important it is to master the skill of paying attention. Now, here's the main point. If the brain is like a tool for intelligence, and the mind is what the brain does, then what's behind the effort to improve the brain? It's consciousness, a word with 13 letters that is often thought of as mysterious. Consciousness is a part of us that's aware of ourselves and has free will. It's not limited to the body, brain, or mind. Consciousness guides the brain to create the mind. So when we boost our brain function, it's our consciousness that's making the improvement. Our brains handle an incredible 400 billion pieces of information every second, but we're only aware of a tiny 2,000 bits. These bits mainly focus on the body, surroundings, and time. This limited awareness keeps us stuck in routines and predictability, even when we want to break free. The first step to make a change is to become aware of those automatic thoughts and feelings. When we shift our attention away from the body, surroundings, and time, we open ourselves up to something called the quantum field. In tough times, like the challenges we're facing now, feeling scared is normal. But what we really want is something extraordinary: a new way of thinking. This is a chance to take a break in the comfort of our homes. Instead of sticking to the same routine and familiar places, it's time to do some inner work, meditate, and open our hearts. Studies indicate that practicing this approach creates a state where information is no longer based on external threats, but on the safety of the current moment. Surprisingly, just 4 days of focusing on the heart during meditation can boost our immune system by 50%. It's not about how challenging it is. It's about seizing the moment, the very moment we've been getting ready for. Living in a constant state of stress and survival mode can deeply impact our overall well-being, especially our immune system. It's like keeping our internal defense system on high alert all the time, and this constant alertness can harm our health. Our immune system, which defends our body against harmful invaders like viruses and bacteria, takes a hit when we experience chronic stress. It's as if our body is always getting ready for a fight, redirecting resources away from vital functions to deal with perceived threat. Repeated exposure to negative thoughts and tough situations is like pressing the replay button on a stressful mental loop. Our brains and bodies get caught up in this cycle, disrupting the delicate balance crucial for our well-being. Imagine it as a seesaw. The more stress we pile on our side, the more the entire system gets out of balance. In this analogy, the seesaw represents the balance between our mental and physical health. The consequences of this imbalance can be serious, affecting not just our mental being, but our overall health. Chronic stress significantly affects us by shaping how we think. We often catch ourselves imagining the worst possible outcomes, creating a future filled with fear and anxiety in our minds. This mental conditioning then influences our bodies to adapt to a constant state of fear. Our bodies are very responsive to the signals our mind sends. So when we consistently produce thoughts of fear and stress, our bodies interpret these signals as if there's a perpetual emergency. This ongoing activation of our stress response puts a strain on our immune system, hindering its ability to work at its best. It's like overloading our body's circuitry. Instead of using energy for essential functions like maintaining a strong immune system, it gets redirected to address the perceived threat in our thoughts. In this compromised state, we become more vulnerable to external conditions, making us more prone to illness and infections. Additionally, the heightened state of alertness becomes a breeding ground for more stress. Our feelings of fear and anxiety create a loop where our mental and physical states continuously reinforce each other. Escaping from this cycle becomes increasingly difficult as the mind and body get caught up in a stress dance. It's important to realize that while stress is a natural response to tough situations, it becomes harmful when it persists for a long time. Our bodies aren't built to handle a constant flood of stress hormones and negative emotions. When chronic stress becomes the usual state, our internal environment undergoes significant changes, putting our overall health at risk. In these tough times, it's crucial to be aware of the dangers of stress and take proactive steps to manage it. Engaging in practices that encourage relaxation and mindfulness, like meditation or deep breathing exercises, can be powerful tools to break free from the cycle of chronic stress. Recognizing that the mind strongly influences the body is the initial step toward creating a healthier internal environment. By taking charge of our thoughts and intentionally opting for positive and calming mental states, we can start the journey to restore the delicate balance between our mental and physical well-being. The power of thought is a force often underestimated in our daily lives. It's more than a simple process occurring in our minds. It profoundly affects both our brain and body. Let's explore how our thoughts can be a game changer, impacting our equilibrium and even our immune system. Think of your brain as the control center for everything that happens in your body. It processes an enormous amount of information every second, and thoughts are the commands it receives. Now, when these thoughts are laden with fear, they act as disruptors, sending signals that can knock our whole system out of balance. Our bodies closely follow what our minds are thinking. It's like an ongoing conversation between the brain and the body, where thoughts act as the conductor orchestrating the responses. When we engage with thoughts of fear, stress, or anxiety, it sets off a chain of reactions that go well beyond the mental realm. To leverage the power of thought for our well-being, it begins with awareness. Being mindful of the thoughts flowing through our minds is the initial step. When we catch ourselves dwelling on fearful thoughts, we have the ability to redirect our thinking towards positivity and calmness. It's akin to rewiring our brain to transmit different signals to our body. Rather than broadcasting fear, we can opt to convey messages of reassurances and positivity. This shift in thinking can directly impact our immune system, gradually fortifying our defenses against external threats. Engaging in practices that encourage positive thinking, such as gratitude exercises or affirmations, can be potent tools in this process. By intentionally steering our thoughts toward the positive, we set off a ripple effect that permeates our entire being, cultivating a healthier internal environment. In these moments, we should aim for the extraordinary, a new consciousness that emerges as a response to our awakening. Now is the perfect moment for us to turn inward, breaking away from the usual routine and applying the tools we've acquired. It's the opportune time for inner reflection and growth. We possess the capacity to detach from our physical surroundings, the environment, and the constraints of time, unlocking the potential of quantum field. It's not about avoiding reality. Instead, it's about crafting a new reality from within. So, it's a method. Practice it daily and witness the remarkable changes unfold. Embrace the influences of observation, concentration, and consciousness. Step into the quantum field and let the transformation commence. You already have the tools. Now, put them to use. It's time to bring life to the vision of existence you've always desired. Thanks for hanging out with us at The Circle. Remember, using these tools every day is giving your life a boost. Stay focused, positive, and keep the good vibes flowing. See you next time and keep making your life awesome. This is The Circle, and we hope to see you in our next video.